If you're an attorney and you're looking at how to build a sustainable career that's going to last a long time, you need to be paying attention to business development. My name is Thom Singer, and I work with lawyers on how to create a business development plan that's going to make a difference and help them create a sustainable career. I also speak at partner retreats for law firms who want to get their whole team, from the partners all the way down to the associates, focused on this idea of human interaction. Because the world's getting more digital, AI is going to affect the legal world, but your secret weapon is the relationships you have and the plan that you create to be able to build a sustainable practice. Now, one of the problems that happens all the time is, as an attorney, you get really busy. Things come up. You're going to have a case that goes sideways. You're going to have a deal that you're working on that's going to take all of your time. You're going to have pressures inside the firm with different things that are going on. You're going to have pressures from your family. You're going to have things at home you have to get done. And what most lawyers do is they take their attention to business development and just decide that's not important. We'll deal with everything else. And then down the line, they're wondering why they're not making their numbers. Their billable hours are low and they freak out. And then they're calling me and they're trying to figure out, what can we do? Well, you don't put business development off until you're hungry. You have to do a little bit of it all the time. And if you have fallen into the trap of saying, I'm too busy to do any biz dev, I'm too busy to write articles, I'm too busy to be active in my community, I'm too busy to call former clients, it's okay. That's what happened yesterday. We start today. So my advice to you is to make sure that you have scheduled time in your calendar to do business development activities. Now, that could be sending emails, that could be writing articles, it could be reaching out. There's a lot of different things depending on your personality, depending on your firm's, style, and depending on your practice area. There's a lot of different things you have to do around this whole idea of business development, but you need to block some time on your calendar. Now, I've worked with many clients who decide they're going to block their time on Saturday. Great, because then they're not worried about their work hours and their billing time. Some people will do it Friday morning or Friday afternoon before they leave the office. They'll book an hour and a half or 2 hours that every week they're going to put their time in there. That's awesome. But the problem is, and this has probably happened to you, you put it on your calendar, but then something comes up and you just say, well, that's just business development time. I'll scrape that off my calendar this week. I'll deal with it next week. And then you go do whatever else is going on. If you're going to put something on your calendar, treat it as if it's a meeting with your most important client. I want you to think about this for a minute. If your most important client has a meeting with you tomorrow at 10 o'clock, where do you think you're going to be tomorrow at 10 o'clock? The odds are, unless it's an absolute catastrophe, you're going to be face to face with the client who you have that appointment with. So why are you putting things on your calendar that aren't equally important, especially when it comes to your business development? Because if you don't have an ongoing pipeline of touches, building your brand and building your reputation, you're going to find yourself at times having a career that goes like this. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And that creates a lot of stress. The attorneys who I know who've had the most stress-free careers, even if they're in a stress-filled practice area, they're the ones who have always had the business coming in. And if they do such a good job, they get too much business coming in, then they get to refer it to other people in the firm. They get origination credit, they get the clients, they get that, and they don't even have to do the work because they passed it off to somebody else. I would imagine you would like to be that type of lawyer who has more work than you can handle so that you're sharing it with other people in your firm. However, that's not going to happen just because you're good at what you do. The mistake that so many lawyers make is they say, well, I'm very good in my practice area. I might be the best in town at the type of law I practice. Well, great. Have you ever lost a deal to somebody you thought was less of a lawyer than you? Most people say that has happened. Well, do you know why? It's because the client doesn't know. The other lawyer doesn't go in and say, hey, Brian's a much better lawyer than I am. Everybody comes in and presents themselves the best they can. The client can't tell. So you've got to make sure that you're making all the short lists so that you have the chance to win that business. Because if someone's going to talk to 2 or 3 attorneys before they hire one, if you're not one of those 2 or 3 attorneys, what are your chances of winning that case or that client? The answer is 0. So you need to be doing the things that get you on the short list so people are letting you come in and be one of those few that they consider. And the only way that's going to happen is if you're consistent with your business development, your networking, and building your brand and reputation in your industry or your area. So that's what I talk to lawyers about. And it's so funny because they'll be like, oh, well, we want to hire this economist to come talk at our firm. And then afterwards, they're like, oh, all he talked about was things we could read in the New York Times. Well, yeah, you should bring somebody in, whether it's me or somebody else, who is going to impact the future of your firm, not just to give you information. You need someone to come in and impact the future of your firm. And if you're looking for someone to coach you to be able to develop a business development plan, you have to make sure you're looking for somebody who is focusing on the results that you want. So anyway, that's the video I made today. It's all about the fact that you have to schedule the time and do the work, because there is no magic lawyer fairy who's going to come along and sprinkle you with clients. You have to do the work early, because if you dig that well before you're thirsty, you're going to have plenty of opportunities coming your way. But if you blow it off, if you think this video was dumb and what I said didn't matter, then when you're being questioned by your managing partner about why your billables are so low, don't blame anybody else. Go to the mirror and say, oh, that was my problem because I didn't make this a priority earlier in my career. The Chinese have a great saying: the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. Doesn't matter what you did before. Start now building the practice that you want to have and make it a priority. You can find more about me at thomsinger.com, and there's a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube channel that talk specifically to lawyers. So just find the little thing, the tab that is lawyer business, and you'll find more of these. So thanks. And if you want to talk to me, find me. You can find me on thomsinger.com, and we'll have a conversation. If I'm not the right fit to help you or help your firm, awesome. But I want you to find the right fit to help you and help your firm, because so many lawyers that I talk to are frustrated by the fact that they just can't seem to make business development a priority. And I believe it's the thing you got to do. So thanks for watching this one.